Zachtjes. Live. Yes. That is great. And I am lucky to be outside. I know it's not like bright sunny, but it's dry. It's not as windy anymore. And it is getting a little bit warmer. So hello and welcome to episode 21 of Spilling the Green Beans, my weekly live gardening show where I share with you my green secrets to inspire you to start growing your own vegetables. I'm your host, Emily, and I'm creator of Easy Urban Gardening, the system for growing your own vegetables on a balcony or terrace in town. So thank you for spending time with me today when I talk about carrots. Growing vegetables can seem daunting and hard work, but I share with you my green secrets, the most crucial techniques to keep it fun and easy. You'll also learn how to take advantage of the broad health benefits of gardening and how to cook delicious meals with your own vegetables. I am spilling the green beans. And if you are in for a lot of veggie talk, or actually can talk about veggies always, you want tips, pictures, fun, and laughter in the garden, then why don't you join my Facebook group, Our Garden Party? Become a part of our very veggie-loving community, learn all about growing vegetables, and of course, cooking them. Thus, there we share the fun, the tears, and the laughter gardening brings us. So I hope to see you there. It would be really, really cool and really is a garden party. We really love to make fun, keep the gardening easy, share with each other. So it's really, really nice place to be if you love vegetables and like to grow them or just want to learn to grow them. Then you're absolutely welcome to. Last week, I spoke about summer sowing, and today we talk about carrots. Yes, it's another vegetable episode, and we're going to talk eating as well. I'm always so excited about when I can talk about cooking as well as gardening. So we talk about carrots, how to grow them, how to kind of like realize carrots all year round. And of course, I have some fun and different recipes for you. So if you, like I always do, have sown your carrots kind of like late March, early April, they should be ready for harvest in a week or two. Even though May was generally very cold in Europe, the temperatures look to go up as of the end of this week, and then your garden might very well explode. It's kind of like, I see it, everything, the temperatures is going up and up and up and up, little bit every day here. And I kind of like can see my veggies growing. So you can prepare for some serious harvesting soon if you filled your garden in April. But we're talking carrots today, so back to them. First of all, carrots are considered small vegetables, so you can fit 16 in a square. And once they're up in the nice grid pattern, they always remind me kind of like of toy soldiers, or at the first time as a young teenager, I went to London with a friend of mine, and I watched the changing of the guards at Buckingham Palace, of course, as you do as a tourist. And they're all kind of like these soldiers or guards. They're all neatly in line and everything. Well, that's kind of like my idea with vegetable with carrots in my garden. It has nothing to do with anything else, but okay. So is there anything you have to pay special attention to when growing carrots? Well, actually not really. They prefer to be sown directly on their spot. Now, they are very, very vulnerable to damage when transplanted. So if you're not a pro in that kind of field, I never recommend my clients to grow carrots in pots or indoors if that pot is not the final place where the carrots kind of like mature and grow up. But it actually also is not necessary because they can be sown like many months of the year, actually from March until August. So you just stick to sowing them directly into your garden because that's way easier. And it's also kind of like failure proof. I sow my first carrots in March, then a second round in May, and a third one end of July, maybe early August. And then I normally try a fourth round, end of September or early October. Can you tell I like carrots? Well, whatever. This last round, end of September, early October, of course, is outside of the official sowing time for carrots. But autumn nowadays can be really nice, and I often am successful in getting them started. And as they are quite sturdy little fellows, I can, from that sowing round, end of September, early October, I can then harvest my fresh carrots in February or March next year. And that is always, I mean, nothing beats the feeling of getting your first carrots out of your own garden when it's still that winter. So it is worth a try. It doesn't succeed every year, but there is a very big chance you actually will succeed and have those carrots going before winter really sets in. And then they don't mind the winter, they don't mind snow. They will kind of like hibernate, so to say, and then start growing again as soon as the days start to lengthen and the sun is out a little bit, maybe in February or March, and then you will have beautiful fresh vegetables or carrots. So then anything else to think about? Well, let's talk a little bit about companion planting for carrots. They're relatively easy. They're actually quite easy fellows. They just don't like dill, parsnip, and potatoes as a direct neighbor. So like in the square next doors, so to speak. But they go well with almost everything else. Although, as everybody, they have some favorite neighbors. So if you are in the opportunity, they love the brassica or gray family and the pot or blue family members next doors. So if you can combine them, like maybe with radishes at one side and peas or beans, French beans at the other side, kind of like, they will love you for it. But also when there is anything else next door, like tomato, peppers, lettuce, rosemary, and sage. Now, immediately back to that, I would not advise you to put rosemary in your Easy Urban garden because it is a plant that actually stays there. I will show you maybe once next week or in one of the few weeks, or maybe in my Facebook group, in our garden party Facebook group. The rosemary I have is something like 42 years old. So it's not really a plant that I would recommend you putting in your garden. But if you have a huge garden and say, I want one of the squares I actually dedicate to rosemary forever, then carrots would love to be sown next doors. And funny enough, there are a few members of the root family that actually also like growing next to. And those are chives, onions, and leek. So they are kind of like from the third cousin, twice removed kind of family branch of the orange family. Because, of course, you have the real roots like the beetroot, the carrot, the parsley root, the things like that. And then you have kind of like the onion branch of the family where chives, onion, leek, etc. are in, of course, spring onions. And although they're from the same family, and although I still think you should rotate them when you sow the next plant in the same square, these are two branches of one family that actually thrive next to each other. It can be, though, a little bit difficult because that, of course, you don't have the orange option for the next sowing round. So make sure you still have like enough possibilities, especially over summer, to alternate the colors one after the other. So Now you know that it is quite easy to grow carrots. So it's time to talk about what to do with your harvest. Yay! Most of you might already have quite some favorite dishes and ways to prepare carrots. So maybe like boiled with peas or grilled, roasted, or grated for your carrot cake or salad. So I thought to talk about a few maybe less regular ways to use your carrots and some less common combination options. Of course, I always here to challenge you to explore the world of flavors, herbs, spices, and cooking methods. So let's first talk about some flavor combinations, as you can combine those no matter how you prepare your carrots. Carrots combine wonderful, as from a flavor point of view, with celeriac, chicory, cucumber, seaweed, and lettuce to make kind of like salads. But also all sorts of nuts and seeds are a nice combination, and they're nice to use to top up your carrot dish, whether it's cold or warm. That, of course, doesn't really matter. And don't forget to also throw in some apple slices or apple cubes or pomegranate seeds. Really, really nice with carrots. So now, how about spices? Tell me, do you tend to cook with herbs and spices? Like really regular and really maybe also a little bit out of your comfort zone? I do a lot. And with carrots, you have so many options. What I prefer is ginger, cardamom, allspice, dill, and rosemary. But also the following and maybe a bit more exotic combinations. So think about combining your carrots with harissa. It's a spicy pepper spread from Northern Africa. So like a chili spread or a sambal kind of thing. They're also really nice to combine with honey. So what I like is truffle honey or honey and lavender. Really good with carrots. Maybe you can make your carrot salad next time with a dressing, including yogurt and cinnamon, and then top it up with the pomegranate seeds. Really lovely. I also like to mix to make my own mixture of equal quantities of ground cumin, star anise, and coriander seeds. So you just take the mortar and pestle and, you ground them yourself, or maybe you have multiple refillable pepper mills that you can fill with all sorts of seeds. Or what I actually have is I have this little electric coffee grounder. So actually in Europe, you buy it from, I think it's Bosch or Brown as a brand. And it's the tiny little one you put in. Normally you would old fashioned, it's sold as a coffee grounder, although nowadays they also market it as a spice grounder. It's a tiny little one. You put the spices in on top, you put in the lid, press the button, and it makes it powder. Really, really, really handy little thing. So cumin, star anise, and coriander. Really nice combination. Or chili, cacao, normal anise, so not the star anise, but the normal anise seeds, cloves, and cinnamon. Also really nice together. And then with carrots. So, yes, you see, carrots, they are a very, very versatile ingredient in the kitchen. And I think it's a pity that too many people aren't adventurous enough with them when cooking. So I hope you now feel encouraged to go out and try what suits your taste best. Of course, we all have these spices that we don't like. The first one I mentioned, the big one I mentioned, the elephant in the room, is coriander. So always remember that when there is coriander seeds in, or actually also the leaves in a recipe, you can easily replace it by parsley, either seeds or leaves, no matter. You can just replace that. So if you go back to the one with the coriander that I said, you can also do cumin, star anise, and parsley seeds, and then ground it as no problem. So that is kind of like the flavor combinations. And you always have to go and try, just be courageous, and do it. But of course, I won't leave you without sharing some recipe ideas. And for today, I chose to give you my recipes for savory carrot muffins and carrot waffles. The muffins are a great side dish to combine with white meat like pork, chicken, and turkey, or on their own served with maybe a Waldorf salad or grilled and mixed vegetables like zucchini, sweet pepper, aubergine, kohlrabi, and potatoes. And you can grill them either in the oven or on the barbecue, hoping for nice weather to come finally. So the muffins recipe I give you is for about 12 muffins. You have to preheat the oven to 107 degrees Celsius or about 335 Fahrenheit. And you prepare a muffin tray with the paper cups in every hole. And then to make the muffins, you mix 300 grams of flour with 2 tablespoons baking powder and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and maybe a pinch of salt, tiny pinch of salt. Then, in a separate bowl, you mix 4 eggs, 160 milliliters of oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence, 200 grams of grated carrots, and 200 grams of grated sour apples. After mixing that, the carrots with the apples and the oil and everything, you then carefully spoon through 100 grams of coarsely chopped pecan nuts, 100 grams of raisins, and 50 grams of coconut flakes. Yeah? Okay. Having that, then finally you add the flour mixture and you mix it. Mix it kind of like fiercely, but short. Don't stir too long, and it doesn't need to become a smooth batter. You fill the muffin cups and you bake for about 25 minutes or until you take a wooden skewer, you stick it into the middle, and if it comes out again clean and dry, your muffins are ready. In this case, I think that the taste of the muffins does increase while cooling down. So for me, they are best a few hours after baking, but feel free to consume them warm if that is what you like. Okay, then the waffles. You need 2 eggs, 450 grams of carrots, 100 grams of flour, 80 grams of grated Gruyere, 20 grams butter, 2 sprigs of thyme, half a teaspoon cumin powder, and salt and pepper. So you set aside roughly 1 carrot, or actually you cut 300 grams of the carrots in slices. And if they are organic or from your own garden, there's no need to peel them. Just brush them under cold water and they're good to go. You cook the carrots for 10 minutes in boiling salted water, or you steam them and then you drain them. And then you mix the cooked carrots with the eggs. And then you add the flour together with the Gruyere, the crushed thyme, the cumin powder, the pepper and salt to taste. And then you mix the peeled and grated raw carrot, that roughly 150 grams, into the dough. And then you take a waffle iron and you bake your waffles as usual. You might lightly grease the iron with melted butter before each baking session. As simple as that. I like to serve my waffles savory, and I kind of like put on top of them. So I have the waffle I make these waffles often when I have like a cocktail party or a birthday party, you know, for as bites, as finger food. So I kind of like make them. I never really fill the whole iron so that they don't have the neat edges, but you know, the edges are unregular. And then I break them into pieces or 4 pieces, depending on how big they are. And then I top them with hummus, pomegranate seeds, and young spinach leaves, or with smoked salmon, avocado, and beetroot greens. So you see, there's always something else from my kitchen. Shredded chicken, bell pepper, and sweet chili sauce. So those are 2 ideas to do to kind of like surprise everybody around you with your carrots from your garden, eating them maybe in a slightly different way than that you're used to. And the full recipes will I upload to my Facebook group, Our Garden Party. So if you love vegetables, like to grow them, or want to learn how to grow them, and are keen on getting all sorts of, what am I talking? If you're keen on getting all sorts of tips, including my recipes, then join Our Garden Party. Yay! I would absolutely love seeing you there. It is a really, really fun group. I just started, so it's still relatively small, but we hope to grow to a decent party and really, really share all the fun, the laughter, the pictures, the seedlings. And of course, I will share my tips, tricks, and recipes there as well, including this weekly live show that is in the group as well, broadcasted. And also in the group, I go regularly live with short master classes or whatever comes up to my mind and I just feel like sharing with you. So thanks for spending time with me in the garden today, and I hope to meet you in your garden soon. So did you enjoy this episode of Spilling the Green Beans? Then please share, subscribe, give a review so more people can enjoy the show, and join the Facebook group, Our Garden Party. I see you in next week's episode, where I will talk about de-stressing in your garden. I'll tell you everything about how I take full benefit of the health benefits of gardening on every level. So see you next week. Bye.